Take a look at this. The gun isn't firing. It's still not firing. Now it is. And I come back, the gun's not firing. Why? Because my finger is someplace other than the trigger. This is a critical part of gun safety, keeping your finger someplace other than the trigger. June is National Safety Month, but it's my opinion that every single day needs to be Gun Safety Day. Please head to ssa.training/gun safety. When you get there, you'll find a compilation of all the videos we've released along with quality descriptions, and you can get yourself a free guide to practical gun safety. Hi there, folks. My name is Paul Carlson, and I'm the owner of Safety Solutions Academy. I'm coming here to you today with gun safety tip number 3. Keep your finger someplace other than the trigger until you're ready to shoot. You know, folks, when we look at gun safety, one of the things that people think about most often is gun safety rules. And those gun safety rules can be critical to help keep you and those that are important to you safe, whether you're out on the range, whether you're holstering or unholstering your defensive handgun, whether you're putting your handguns away, storing them, or cleaning them up or repairing them. Following gun safety rules are very important. They're not just for the range, they're for everyday gun handling. And so you need to know those gun safety rules. You need to understand those gun safety rules, and you need to put them into practice. Remember, that's one of the important parts of safe gun handling. So folks, take a look. I'm going to do some shooting. I've got my ears in, I'll put my eyes on, and I'm going to draw my defensive handgun out and take a look. You'll notice that right now, the gun, it's not firing at all. There's no shots that are breaking. Why? Oh, look, because my finger is someplace other than the trigger. Now watch this. The gun fired. Why? Because my finger entered the trigger guard and pressed the trigger. You see, that's the key. Here it goes again. It's not firing now. It was firing then. Why? Because of my finger. That's right, folks. Plain and simply, when you're using your firearm, virtually every time your gun fires, it's because of your finger. It's your finger that presses the trigger. There might be some outside chance, a chance that's less than 0.01% that your gun could fire for some other reason. In almost every circumstance, it's a person and their finger that fires a gun. And that's why it's important that you keep your finger someplace other than the trigger until you're ready to shoot. You see, from a safety standpoint, if your firearm doesn't fire, it's very difficult for someone to be injured by it. If the gun doesn't go off, if a bullet doesn't exit the muzzle and head in some direction, no one can be injured by that. And so keeping that finger someplace other than the trigger really is critical as a part of firearm safety. The question you might have is, where do I put my finger? Let's take a look at that. I'm going to draw my handgun back out from the holster, and you'll notice that immediately my finger heads to the part of the gun that's right in between the top of the firearm and the trigger. It's called the frame. And on this particular firearm, you can see this frame is right here. It's got this little button on it, little lever that helps me take the gun apart. I'll tell you what, that is the piece of the gun that I feel every time I put my finger someplace other than the trigger on the frame of the gun. Now, you might not have a button right here on your pistol. Maybe not. That's okay. Find something that you can feel and remember and understand that that's the correct place to put your finger. Maybe it's the seam in between the slide of the gun and the frame of the gun. Maybe that helps. Maybe there's some engraving. Maybe there's something else that's there that helps you to remember that. But whatever the case might be, you'll notice that there's no way, whether I get startled, whether I get scared, or I simply have a mental lapse and make an error, there's no way, no matter how hard I press, that I'm going to be able to make my finger press the trigger to the rear. And that's what makes a gun fire. So folks, you know and understand that gun safety needs to be an everyday part of your life if you have firearms. And keeping your finger someplace other than the trigger is one of the critical things that you can do to mitigate the risks of firearms. So keep that finger someplace other than the trigger until you're ready to shoot. It's your finger that makes the gun fire, and if you keep it away from that trigger, the gun won't go off. Someone can't be injured by that firearm. So folks, I want you to practice gun safety every day, not just when you're at the range, but I want you to practice it when you're cleaning your gun, when you're taking your gun apart, when you're putting your gun back together, when you're putting it into the holster, taking it out of the holster, or when you're at the range shooting. Head to www.ssa.training/gun safety. When you get there, you'll find a compilation of all the videos we've put together and released, and you'll find a way to get that free gun safety guide, a practical guide to gun safety that you can use to make gun safety an everyday part of your life. Yes, June is National Safety Month, but every day is Gun Safety Day.